Classroom activities. What are classroom activities? Now, classroom activities are activities that goes on during your instructional period to engage the students in the classroom. Now, there are a whole lot of classroom activities. If you want to become a best teacher, one of the most important thing for you to know is your classroom activities. You get to a classroom and a teacher is teaching and the whole class is like, do you understand? Yes, sir. You give them an exercise and they score 0. But then you get to a different class, the class is very, very engaging. Students are answering questions, they are asking questions, they are scoring, and you ask yourself, where did I go wrong? In this video, we are going to look at some basic classroom activities you should incorporate in your teaching lessons. Hello there, my name is Lottie. I do create educational content or videos for your page. Or if this is your first time, please do well to hit the like button, subscribe, and of course turn on notification bell so that I don't miss important educational content from us. First on my list when it comes to classroom engagement or classroom activities is brainstorming. Now, when I say brainstorming is one of the methods I've learned to adapt as a teacher. Why do I say this? Because in brainstorming, no answer is wrong. Whatever answer a student gives you, you just take it in good faith. You don't say they are wrong. Do you get it? For example, you could be teaching mathematics. You could be teaching equation for your first time, and then you ask the student to give you an example of a variable. Now, since you've not made mention to the student that variables deals with alphabets in mathematics, when we say variables, we are talking of alphabets, and you've not explained this to the students. If you should ask a student to give you an example of a variable, and the student says 5. You said, okay, that's a good try. I wasn't expecting that. That's a good try. Another student says 100. Okay, that's a good try. Then another student gives you the answer you're looking for. Let's say y. You said, okay, that's also good. So all the answers you all gave are right. You get it? But we are going for y because when we talk of variable, we are specifically referring to alphabet. And when we say alphabet, we know the English alphabet, we have A to Z. So any alphabet between A to Z is considered a variable. In this way, you make the students who said 1, 5, or 100, you make them feel comfortable. Why do they feel comfortable? Even though they gave you the answer, you didn't tell them they are wrong. It also boosts their confidence, their morale. Anytime you ask a question, they'll be willing to answer. And so one method is the brainstorming method. With brainstorming, please, as a teacher, when you get to the classroom and a student gives you an answer, you don't say you're wrong, sit down. That way, when you do that, it limits them, and in your next period, they wouldn't want to even answer. Sometimes you ask a question, and because some of these teachers have been doing that, you see that the kid will be doing like this. Like this. Do you get it? So yes, the next thing I would like to talk about is demonstration. I love demonstration such that my teacher used demonstration to teach me science. The topic was osmosis and diffusion, and to date, this is what I've been using anytime I like to explain diffusion or osmosis to the understanding of a student. So back then, he made us bring yam, and then he brought perfume, because you can't ask a student to bring perfume from his or her home. Not all students use perfume. You get it? So now we know diffusion. We know the definition of diffusion: the movement of molecules from a region of lower concentration to a region of higher concentration. We know osmosis: the movement of water molecules from a region of blah blah blah. Exactly. So the osmosis, we use yam for osmosis, where you peel the yam. So this is a demonstration method. This method has stuck in my mind even as at the moment he taught me and I've grown up. This is the method, because once you're doing it, it sticks in your mind. You peel the yam, you create a hole in the yam, you put in some pinch of salt, you add water, you do the same process. You peel the yam, you create a hole, you put in water without salt, and you leave these two separate yams till the next morning. The next morning, when you come, whatever happens, you record your observation. With the diffusion, it happens that day. You spray the perfume at one corner of the class. It comes from a region of lower concentration, but then as time goes on, it moves on. You get it? You hack somebody, you inhale the smell of someone, and you realize that, oh, this person smells good. And this happens as a result of diffusion. So one method or one classroom activity you can incorporate in your teaching field is the demonstration method, of which I love so much. The next activity you can incorporate is games to engage your classroom. The guys in the classroom love to play this PS such that when they are in school, they use their money they've been given to them by the parents to go to the game centers and play all these games. So what you can do as a teacher is that if you have such games on your laptop, you get a game pad, and then Fridays are mostly for games for these students. So what you have to do is, okay, any student who scores, let's say during this test, any student who scores 70 and above will join this tournament on Friday. Trust me, every student would want to pass your test just to get hold of your game pad. Like, the moment a student gets to hold a property of a teacher, he or she feels so high, he or she feels so proud that, who am I to hold my teacher's game pad, to sit in front of my teacher's laptop and be playing? So games, yes, games improve. Another game you can incorporate is the board games. We have a lot of board games. There's this board game, I think it's an HIV board game. It's very educative and informative. It comes with cards, it comes with a dice, like the loot game, a dice, said that if a student should throw a die and it turns out that the student brings out 6, you count on the board maybe to get to 6, and then they'll tell you that STD means sexually transmitted disease. Do you get it? And they'll ask you a question. If you're able to answer the question, you move on to the next. It's very, very fun and educative, and so you should incorporate games in your classroom activities to engage the students as well. The next thing I would like to talk about is debate. Debate gives students opportunity to say their minds, to talk of whatever they want to talk about. It gives students the opportunity to be bold, to enjoy or to become great in public speaking. Some students are very shy, said that if you ask the student a question, just for the student to even raise up the hand and tell you the answer is a problem. But if you should ask the student to put it down on paper, the student will put it on the paper correctly for you. But then for the student to come out and then speak in public is a problem. And so debate will also enable you identify these kind of students such that you'll be able to know those that are good, those that are average, low average, those who need help and all that. The last activity I'd like to talk about is field trip. Field trip is one of the most engaging activities you can ever think of. Fine, maybe you may find it difficult to organize a field trip, said that the students will leave their town to the next region or whatsoever, but field trip doesn't have to be always students leaving their town to a different region. Field trip can be within the school environment, maybe from the school to wherever they process these natural yogurts, from the school to wherever they process these days liquid soap, a whole lot of stuff's going on. Field trips makes these students enjoy your classroom. No student would love to miss a field trip, no student. And so try incorporating field trips in your class activities, and this is going to help engage your students in the long run. Thank you very much for watching this video. I hope this video was useful. You can also leave your engaging activities via the comment section to help other teachers as well, and it will go a long way to help all of us in the teaching field. Thank you very much for watching this video. My name has always been Team Lottie, and I'm definitely going to see you guys in another episode. Stay tuned and stay connected. Peace out.